Welcome to the 413 Strong podcast. What's up? We got Judah here on Instagram. That was fast, man. You just tuned in. We're going to be talking about, what's up there, Tony? Tony's one of my clients down in Louisiana. We're going to be talking about a story. I'm going to be telling you a story today. Something I learned the hard way. All right? I learned this the hard way. All right, Instagram is rolling in. Before I get started and into the good juicy stuff here, I just wanted to say, my clients, speaking of Tony there, we're participating in a 24-day to Christmas sprint, and so far, it's been really fun. We're just a little halfway through the sprint. It's 24 days, which that's hard to believe. How's it going, Kim? How's it going, Ron? So we are just basically challenging ourselves a little bit more, holding ourselves to a little bit of a higher standard, a little more accountability, posting workout pictures a little bit more, maybe tracking a little bit more. And it's been really fun. And I can say, I'm the coach, and I can see a good, genuine difference in the quality of the workouts. So it's been fun. And I've got a couple little secrets. I mentioned this the other day on the podcast. One was for my clients. One is for people that's not working with me, something coming up in January. So stay tuned for that. All right, now let's get into this little story. I learned a lesson. I'll call this lesson, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Which sounds like the dumbest thing ever, but it's so true. Like if you're a Christian, and you say, I'm going to start reading my Bible every day, and you don't wake up earlier, or you're not willing to stay up later, or you're not putting your Bible out where you can see it, you don't have the Bible app on your main screen, nothing is changing. So it's not likely that you're going to change your behavior and start reading your Bible more often, right? So that's what I mean by, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And it's definitely the same can be said for your fitness journey. And I learned this because for years, what's going on, Nick? For years, I was in a position where I was like, okay, I'm going to see my abs this year by working harder. I was going in, I remember one summer, I was going in, shout out to Scott Heaton, we were going in and doing sprints, and like we'd run routes. We'd run routes like, 10 routes. So I'd run 10 routes. It's basically 10 to 20 second sprints and jog back. So, then I'd be the quarterback a while, and then I'd throw to Scott, and then we'd trade places. And then we'd go work out. And then after the workout at the gym, we'd go, and especially me, I'd go do more cardio or more abs. And it was like, I got in the best shape I'd ever gotten into up to that point. But I still wasn't where I wanted to be. And I remember I went through a little phase where I was like, forget this. This cutting, seeing abs, it just isn't for me. I made excuses. It's just not my body type, the body type excuse. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to instead focus on just getting really strong. Thor. I'm going to be going in Thor mode, baby. And I was doing a lot of like strength training, which is fun and I think is good. Everybody should focus on linear periodization, trying to get stronger at some point. But it kind of just left me with a hurt back all the time. And so here I was, 30, 40 pounds heavier. I bulked up to 220 pounds in 2015. So there I was, 40 pounds heavier, and with clothes on, people were like, dude, you've gotten huge. What are you doing? You look awesome. And I definitely gained muscle, but I was like, that still original goal. I wanted to see my abs for the first time in my life, like really clear cut abs. And what did I need to do? And I was seeing, a pattern. Nothing was changing. So nothing was changing. I was repeating the same behaviors, and I wasn't really where I wanted to be. And this is around the time where I was also getting people asking me, how did you put on so much muscle? how are you doing this in the gym? How are you so strong? And so that's when I became a personal trainer and started learning more and diving more into information. And I started learning that some of the best trainers have this in common. They were not too proud. They didn't have too big of an ego to reach out and ask someone else for help. They didn't have too big of an ego to say, I've got this. Why would I pay someone to do this for me? I mean, I can do this. And in 2016, I started the diet. I decided I was going to compete for the first time. I was, had watched Pumping Iron 200 times by that point, and I'm like, why have I never competed? So I decided to get on stage, and it was going okay. I was cutting down. I went from like 220, I said, to 185-ish, but I was having concerns about how much more I was going to have to cut to really get into stage condition and again see my abs for the first time. So when I got to about 15 weeks out, someone at my gym, actually the owner at the time, was like, you should give this guy a call. He'll get you to where you want to be, for sure. And I felt pretty confident I could get there by myself. I mean, I was a trainer. I had people asking me to train them for shows, and I was always like, I'm not going to take someone somewhere I've never been. So I'd never trained anybody for a show, and I've decided to reach out to this guy because I didn't want to be pretty sure, 99% sure. I wanted to be 110% sure that when I got on stage, I would be ready. And I reached out to this guy, Anthony, and in 12 weeks, sure enough, I was shredded. I got on stage. It was a different stage than I intended on being on because my show got canceled for a hurricane, so I did an NPC show. And out of 12 guys, I placed 4th, better than I expected. And what I learned was, because I was not too proud, dropped the ego, and got some help, I was able to do something I'd never done before. Because I changed my mindset, changed my behavior, I was able to go someplace I'd never been before. And I just want to end by saying this. In 2024, if nothing changes for you behavior-wise, nothing will change. If you're not willing to do some things different than you've done before in the past, you're going to be in the exact same place this time next year. No, you're going to be in the exact same place, but likely 2 to 3 pounds heavier. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to speak things into your life. I'm just being real. Hey, I see David and Ronnie. What's up, guys? Appreciate that, David. But if you don't make a change, and preferably now, before all the stereotypical weight gain starts happening in December, you're going to get the same thing in 2024. And I'll be honest, as a coach, I look back at when I started really hitting the gym and wanting results, probably 2007, 2008. It took me 8 years to realize this. 8 years. And I'm like, how much further could I have been now? How many back injuries could I have avoided from, trying power building and stuff, because I would have had, a direct plan for me, not just following what a bunch of magazines, a bunch of forums. Notice I'm not saying influencers because I'm aging myself. Social media wasn't a thing like in 2008, 9, 10. We went on bodybuilding.com and tried to come to a conclusion based on the forums, which was awesome. I feel for you if you didn't get to experience that. But anyway, in 2024, nothing will change. If nothing changes, you'll be in the same spot, only worse next year. So I highly encourage you to do that. Now, I want to give you a free resource. I have an ebook called Dominate December. Dominate December is some strategies myself and some of my best clients are using to not just manage December, not just get through, but to like thrive. I've got people killing it right now. I've got people absolutely crushing it, going down a pound or two every week. Chris Holtzmaster last year, not only was it Christmas and the holidays and Thanksgiving, he was moving houses. And Chris lost 10 pounds from Thanksgiving until New Year's. 10 pounds. So imagine if he would have waited. That would have been 10 pounds he maybe wouldn't have ever lost. So what I'm saying is this ebook will give you some good tips and good resources to help you get started. If you need help saying, all right, well, what needs to change? What needs to change? What are some actions I can take to actually get a different result? And Tony Settle said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Yep. Just like me doing the same stuff over and over again back in the day, all that cardio, all that extra work, nothing really changed. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And again, if you want a free copy, absolutely free, of the Dominate December ebook, just send me the word dominate, comment the word dominate, and I'll send you a copy. All right, guys? YouTube, appreciate you tuning in, and I'll be back live next Monday. Y'all have a good one.